Hello, is anyone there? Can you guys hear me? Okay, somebody's here. I can see a hi. Awesome. So, while hey, hey, Harinath Reddy. So, we are about 9 minutes away from starting. So, agenda, debug, alerts, starting soon. Please drop in your Please drop in a hello and tell us where you are joining from. Sid here from Bangalore. Hey, can you guys hear me? Okay, I think I have an easy way to review that. Keyboard history, live. Yeah. Okay, I think I have an
Yes, I
easy
can hear you.
way. Perfect. So, oh, nice. Harinath is from Bangalore as well. So nice to see you. The challenge is how far can I reach before we start the streaming today. Okay, we are at 256. Woohoo, okay. Wow. Okay. 5,000 points, 5 and 2 highest. I'm out. We have about 1 minute for the timer to start and 6 minutes, 5 minutes for the demos to begin. So in another minute, I'll start with giving a walkthrough of what we're planning to do today, and I'm open to taking up any questions or comments in case any of you want to do things differently today. Oops, missed it. Yes, okay, much better. Awesome. Hello everyone, let's get started. So today's session, in this today's live stream, what we're planning to do is we're planning to dive deeper into debugging production alerts in real time and seeing how DroidAgent, Dr. Droid can do it, and if we can resolve our issues without taking help from anyone else and without escalating to anyone else in the team. So there are a couple of situations that I'm planning to cover in today. So let me just make a slide two so that just do that. Yeah. Yep. So uh, agenda for today. I'm not sure how clear this is, but I hope this is much better. So yeah. So the agenda for today is primarily going to cover. Hey Shubham, hi, how are you? So I was just talking about, what the agenda for today is, and in today's live stream, we are planning to cover a handful of different alerts and situations and see how Droid Agent is able to help us debug those. So we'll pick up uh, an exception in code and see if Droid Agent can help us raise a PR for it. Okay. The second thing would be we'll experiment, we'll actually investigate a few alerts related to infrastructure, different sites. We'll touch upon database alerts, Redis or Kafka alerts if we can find any of them, and as well as Kubernetes alerts. So let's try to have some fun and explore a bunch of different scenarios. So we have three, four, and five basically. So two, three, and four. And before we begin, if any of you have any questions, so I'm happy to take them up and begin from there. A quick introduction. I'm one of the founders at Dr. Droid, and we're building we're building the platform which we think would be the self-healing platform for the future, where production issues are not typically, uh, you know, typically managed or need to be reviewed by humans. Just it'll be agents or a swarm of agents who will actually continuously look at your alerts and continuously evaluate which one could be a serious problem and fix those alerts and fix those problems in the system that you have. So with that, I think I'll get started with our platform and see how is it that the platform's holding up. Let me just log out from here. Let me just log in into the account. Now, when I log in into the account, it shows me a list of all the issues that I'm facing in the company currently. But I'm pretty new to the system, and if I go to integrations, I can see there's a bunch of different integrations that have been added into this account. But uh, I am not completely well versed with this company, so I'll just ask the agent, hey Droid, I am a New engineer in the company, can you give me a walkthrough of what our setup is and uh, infrastructure, architecture, and monitoring as well. Keep it, you know, want to quickly be ready to dive in. Okay, so I've asked the agent a very simple query that I'm a new user in the company. I'm not very well aware about how the company operates or what their stack is. So if your company uses Dr. Droid and has integration set up, if any of the new engineers have come in into the team, all they need to do is ask a question like this about your system and uh, so it has, like I said, context of a handful of different tools that you have in the system, and the agent has been, trained to be able to go across all of these and, understand all of these tools well enough. So it's now gone in and done a handful of different things. It's queried the services, it's gone into Kubernetes. Okay, so now it's going into exploring the Kubernetes workloads a bit more deeper. So we use Signos as well. So it's gone into the Signos account and uh, yeah, let me just log in into this in a minute. While I log in into this, it's also gone into Elastic APM, which okay. So we have Elastic APM as well. So it's also looking at now the monitoring infrastructure and what all tooling exists in the company. So let's see what it's doing. It's querying Elastic APM. It's querying the indices in the Elasticsearch, so it knows okay what all data is where. And I believe this is primarily because I asked it what the monitoring stack is as well. Now okay, so it's now giving me a walkthrough of the entire setup. What does it have to say? You're working with a microservices based e-commerce application running on AKS. These are some of the services that you have, and these are the three infrastructure components that you have in the system. There's a load generator to simulate user traffic, and the Kubernetes infrastructure. Okay, name. I have Prometheus and Grafana. I have. Okay. Well, okay. Um, So it's going into a lot of, potential issues that could be there or what else could be there. So I don't want to jump into this right now. I just wanted to understand a bit about the company and the architecture. So I think I'm good here. So now the first thing that I'll do is I'll look at the alerts here and yeah, so an exception in the code is something that I could begin with. Wow, there's 13 alerts related to some exceptions that have been happening in the code. Let me pick up a firing alert. Yeah, let me pick this up and I'll just ask it to. So it is an alert in recommendation service and I'm just asking it to investigate it. I'm asking it to find the root cause and help me fix it. So while it's doing this, let me get this in parallel and give you a walkthrough of a couple of things. So let me put in a page 3. So the way the droid agent operates is that it's going to do a deep investigation of an alert and it continues doing investigation until it finds the root cause. Okay, so saying saying it found one exception in the logs for recommendation service. Now it's jumped into the code. So like I said, so when I say deep investigation of an alert, it actually started off with an alert, but quickly jumped on to logs, right? So logs and uh, even some container information. So now this is going on here. Now, if you look at what's going on here, you can see the step-by-step process on what it's doing. Just one second, let me just set it up accurately for you guys. Right, so you can see uh, that it's actually running the coding agent internally. So there is a debugging agent and there is a coding agent that is both a part of this. And now, so it analyzed, so there was a log analysis agent that happened, and then it gave a handover to a coding agent. So now the coding agent is actually found an issue in the code. And so this handover that happened, right? So the first one was the first handover that it did was to the log analysis agent, and now it's gone to the coding agent. Now the coding agent is analyzing the error, and he'll probably get back to me on this. So the agent tries to continuously, iteratively basically explore the infrastructure until and applications until it finds the likely root cause for it, and it'll give you the explanation on why it believes what it believes is the root cause. So we'll get into that, but in the meantime, yes, so it's doing that. So now to do that, it actually has a support of an entire knowledge graph that's created internally for the agent for a company, right? So there's a list of services that is accessible to the agent and different correlations to it. But there's also a service knowledge graph that exists here. It shows as simple nodes in the system, but it does understand, what the correlations between these are, because it has access to traces, it has access to your cluster, and it can query and answer any of those questions as well. So let's see. Okay. So now it's completed the code analysis, and it's also wanted to query some Grafana data related to, okay, interesting. So it queried some specific panels of the Grafana dashboard. I can also go to Grafana and see what it queried. Okay, so it queried the Python microservices, which has recommendations. So it basically went through some of this data. So that's okay. That's quite interesting that it also went to a dashboard, right? So it's not just logs, but logs and metrics that it's analyzed. And after analyzing the code, it's given me a recommendation that, you know, how to fix it is this code is instantiating, but this class does not exist. So it needs to use the correct class name, or the import statements needs to be fixed. And there's a timeout here as well, so that it's pointed out that as well. Now, if you see in the action plan, it's saying, okay, we should deploy a code fix for this issue and restart the service after the deployment, so that we can, ensure that things are fixed. So, would you like me to create a PR? Yes, please create a PR. Right. So now I think the benefit of doing this multitasking here is that using an agent is that I can investigate multiple alerts in parallel. So I'm also seeing some alerts related to Redis. So I can see Redis queue length high alert that's come up in the platform. So let me see how it's investigating that one. And in parallel, so there's a queue proxy down. So why is the queue proxy down? I'm not sure what that even means. So let me ask it to investigate that as well in parallel. Now I have three investigations that it's running in parallel. So, oh wow, okay. So now it's actually doing the code fix here. Now this time around, if you look at it, it's again gone into the coding agent, and within the coding agent, if you look at it, it's basically gone into this specific Dr. Droid lab microservices demo infrastructure, and within that recommendation service, and it knows what it wants to fix. So it's given a prompt, and the coding agent is now taken the handover and is actually looking at how to fix that issue. So it's made its own to do, the coding agent, and it's basically solving its own action items one by one. Now, in the meantime, okay, Redis. So, in investigating Redis alert, it's actually found out about some of the uh, service infrastructure components related to email services and Redis that it's found. It's found some metrics related to Redis, and it's then gone into Kubernetes and it's checked so far and it's found that okay, 100 MB CPU limit and 100 M CPU limit and 128 MB memory limit. So only one replica each. That's what it thinks is the potential bottleneck. Okay. So if the Redis queue length is high, means there's a lot of messages in the uh, Redis that are not consumed by the consumer. So it can see that it's now okay. So from a Redis alert, it's gone upstream to the service that is actually supposed to consume those messages, and why the queue length is not reducing. So uh, Redis is functioning normally. Okay. Now it's gone on into Signos logs. Now in the meantime, wow, okay. So it's created a PR. Dr. Droid AI is created a PR. This link should ideally take me back to the same investigation that we just ran. Yes, it did. Now it's created the PR. So as you can see, it's created the file change. It's removed some of the lines that are causing these errors, and it's raised the PR for me to merge it. So if one of us approves it, reviews it, and merges it, then that is something that would actually be productionized right away, an error that could get fixed, right? So it never actually goes into the default branch directly. It understands that okay, then you must always create a new branch, raise a PR, and then then basically let the human decide whether they want to merge it together or not. Now, while this one is a Kubernetes alert that it's investigating, okay, interesting. So now it's actually run some PromQL and saying that it's it's actually facing some issues in metric selection and updation. So cool. So kubeproxy is running right now, and there's no issues there. But Prometheus is unable to scrape kubeproxy metrics. Now that's because there's no endpoint that's visible here. When there are no metrics, so it's assuming this that it's down. Okay. Okay. Let me ask it. What is kubeproxy? And what does this alert exactly mean? What's down? Yeah. This is the Redis alert that is happening here as an investigation. Okay. So the root cause that it has figured out is the Redis queue, email queue is piling up because there's no background worker to process the queued emails. The background worker is not existing and the queue is not draining because of that. Now there's also a code error that it's found. So this is the issue that it's fixed, it found out. So it's recommending that I create a background worker deployment, and this is the deployment for that worker that it's recommending. And uh, it's asking me to scale the length in. Okay, scale based on queue length. Okay, so it's asking me to do this basically. Got it. Hmm. We'll discuss with my team. Thanks. Okay. So this is the Redis alert that I've been able to, basically create a final investigation on, and I can just let the team know what's happening here. Now, in kubeproxy, kubeproxy is something that runs on every node for network routing, service discovery, load balancing, this. So the problem here is not that the kube proxy is not working. It's confirmed that the kube proxy is working, but the Prometheus that's listening to kube proxy is having a broken issue, which is what is creating this false alarm for me. Okay. So you saved me, agent saved me a few minutes while I was actually looking into another issue in parallel. And this one looks like a legit issue that I need to discuss with my team because this requires me to create a background worker that will basically, clear out the queue, the piling up that's happening in the Redis queue. So let me let me ask a team member if this is the right solution that you he would have expected for, actually looking into this. Let me just huddle him. Let us see if he's available to join. If he does join, then I'll give him the download of this issue.
Hello.
Hey Dhruv, are you there?
Yes. Yeah, I'm here. What's up?
Okay. Guys, can you hear Dhruv? Okay. I'm not sure if the folks here on the
Is
call
available to join.
can
If he
hear
does
Dhruv or
join,
not, but
download this.
what I could do is I could put it on speaker. Dhruv, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, sir.
Okay, so Dhruv, I was seeing this Redis related. There's this Redis queue. I'm getting this alert for Redis queue length high in our microservices demo, and
Okay.
the reason why the agent thinks this is gone wrong is because there's no. The agent is saying that there's no background worker that's supposed to drain out the queue. So,
Okay.
are you aware about this Redis queue and what this queue does?
Yeah, I think I had set it up a few days ago.
Okay.
Okay.
And
So
does
what is the analysis from the agent?
so the agent is saying that there's no background worker and it needs to create a background worker to actually fix this.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
So
Okay. I
what
think the worker which picks the task from the Redis queue is down. So I don't
okay.
think that's instrumented anywhere. So let me check it out.
So we do have a worker for the Redis queue.
Yeah, it is supposed to pick something up.
Okay.
Hmm. Yeah, seems like the worker went down from what I can see. Yeah, I think I'll have to bring it back up.
Okay, got it. So it did detect that the background worker, it felt that the background worker does not exist, but technically
Yeah,
it does exist, but it's gone down. So,
yeah.
as someone who was on call, would you, what would you have expected here? Like, how would it have found the background worker ideally?
So I don't think the background worker, I don't think I've instrumented it anywhere. So there's probably no way because I was the one who set it up. I know that there was a background worker and it's down now.
Okay,
But yeah, I
okay,
wouldn't expect the agent to know that.
okay, got it.
So analysis seems fine.
Okay, so I guess for the context that exists and for the practical reality that exists, wherein engineers like you and me, we might spin up something and just leave it in the background. Nobody else knows about it. The good thing is at least it's found out the problem, so that if I raise it to anyone in the team, so now the next thing I could ask it is, hey, can you look into who worked on the Redis queue related feature and when was this released, so I can probably go and ask it that as well, so that even if I don't know what exactly is wrong, I can take some cues from who would be the best person to actually discuss this with. So it's going to check some recent code changes and deployments related to this. Okay, it's now checked some of the recent commits and the recent merges that have happened. Okay, there is no commit or merge that it is found out. Okay, so the repo is incorrect clearly, K8 as playground app. Hey, it's the Dr. Droid Lab microservices. Hey, it's this repo. Okay, I think never mind, it's gone into this. Can you go through the recent commits and tell me who worked on Redis related stuff? So we can give this another shot with a little more context, because it clearly seemed to have lost the context on which repo is related here. So now these are the couple of things that we've been able to run right now, wherein we've investigated an alert in an error in the recommendation service, and it's raised a PR for us to fix that error. It's explained to us what a kube proxy error is, and why that alert's coming. Technically it's coming because the data is not going to the Prometheus cluster, so that's a learning here. So I need to fix the instrumentation that I've done there, and here it's actually done, it's gone through. Okay, so now it knows the repo now that I told it the correct repo, which means there's a bit of a configuration upgrade that I can do in the services. So basically there'll be some minor changes as I continuously update my system. I might just need to add some configurations here as well, that okay, hey, there's a new repo here, or there's any other information here. So now it's looking at all the changes in the last few days. Let's see what it comes back with. In the meantime, what I can do is let's try something else. So there's an alert related to persistent volume, so likely a database or any other persistent volume that's actually having a volume file filling up. Let me ask it, hey, what's happening here? So let's see how it actually interacts with a database alert or an alert related to databases. So in the meantime, it's analyzing the code deeply. Okay, it found the Redis integration, and let's see where the history related to that is. Now it's okay. This is a recent commit from, seems to be adding a different project structure. Okay. Okay. Let us see what it's doing here. When we are looking at the alerts related to persistent volume, it's getting all the persistent volumes with all the namespaces, and within that list now it's running the namespaces command. It's querying Grafana metrics. Didn't find any data in Grafana. Okay. So it's going into persistent volumes iteratively to see which persistent volume is it that's actually filling up, and what the status of each of these is. Now, in the meantime, okay, so it's found a Redis. Okay. Oops, I think this one's done, this one's done. This is the PR that it raised, it's done. We are here. So it's found out that Elasticsearch in tracing namespace was created, and it's checking if there was an issue in Elasticsearch. This is the only key finding that it's had till now. Oh, Dhruv, are you still on the call? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So here with regards to the Elasticsearch alert that's come in,
Hmm.
this one, so it's pointing towards it's found something in the Elasticsearch PVC. So have we done something on Elasticsearch recently?
So yeah, I think this is something that even I've been trying to solve. So the thing is that the persistent volume gets filled up too quickly. So every few days I'm having to, delete and recreate the volume. Yeah, that's something I'm doing manually.
Okay. So let's ask it, hey, we are having to delete and recreate the persistent volume in Elasticsearch
Oh, yes.
every few days. Can you tell me what's taking up the volume and how I can automate this? So let's see. Is this a fair query, or would you have queried something else, or would you have asked something else to
I
the
think it's
agent?
fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see where it lands up with this. Mm-hmm. So, what else is it not able to identify as it clearly is that, if Dhruv has manually reset the persistent volume, it does not have the logs to know that, okay, this volume was reset by so and so person. So, it's also looking at now what is actually storing most of this space, what is taking up most of this space, and let's see what it comes up with here. Okay, there are a few. Okay, there's this one comment here. Okay, so implement proper volume monitoring, add index lifecycle management. Okay. Mm-hmm. Interesting. Yeah, I think this this was not super helpful. Like I was hoping to figure out how I could actually, close this. I could actually. Okay, that was here actually. I was planning to learn it here. How do I actually delete and recreate, how could I either figure this out. So let's see what it says here. This previous investigation was actually different. This was just the investigation of the alert and helped me find the root cause. There was no interaction from me apart from that. So it's definitely found out that Elasticsearch is the one that the alert is come from, and there's not a much of a problem because it's been restart apparently right now. So uh, we should be able to get into the deeper answer here. It's definitely going to a lot of places. It's exploring Grafana, it's exploring Elasticsearch itself, it's exploring the Kubernetes, it's exploring the indices and the node stats. So So it's given me a automation for index lifecycle management policy, and it's given me some commands so that I could flush the indices on a frequent basis. It's given me a cron job on how I could do this. Okay. Interesting. Okay. I think uh, I think this is super helpful. and I'll take these learnings back and see if I could implement some of these to ensure that my Elasticsearch instance does not get a persistent volume repeatedly filled up. Yeah, I think with this we've covered up a handful of these scenarios. We've gone into looking up the Redis alert. Which one was that? Redis queue length, yeah, high queue length high, and database was a persistent volume filling up that we understood was primarily because of translogs that are getting and needs to be automated using a cleanup cron. And in Kubernetes we saw the kubeproxy alert, where the issue was primarily to send the metrics to Prometheus. Awesome. And of course the first one where we raised a PR directly from an exception in the code. So I think with this we are able to complete the usage of the platform and explore different scenarios, and so bunch of different learnings today, learnings on how different alerts in database and Redis need to be understood and treated. And I hope all of you guys who were using the platform or looking at the video got something interesting too from the call as well. So if you guys have any questions, I'll be happy to take them up, happy to answer you guys. Otherwise I think we're good with today's stream. We're done here. Yes. Awesome. I think we are a bit over time. It was supposed to be for 30 minutes, just a quick discussion and quick live recording here, but we're already at 40 minutes, so I think we can complete this and for today, and yeah, we'll catch up again soon. Awesome. Hey Dhruv, are you still around? I think we could complete the streaming now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
Sounds good.
Okay Dhruv, see you.
See you. Bye bye.
Alrighty. All right then, let's get uh, yeah. Okay Shubham, thank you for watching the demo, and I'll keep you posted on the next one. So if you have any specific use cases that you want the agent to try, investigate, and report back on how that looks like, drop it in the comments here below, and I'll definitely take a look at that as well. So subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can see more of these fun debugging videos while we are investigating them, while we are exploring them, and yeah, I guess that's about it for today.